Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Celebration Center for Spiritual Living. I am so grateful that everybody is here today. It is so wonderful to see all y'all's faces. More people have jumped on since I looked. Hi, Andy and Brenda and Chet. It is just so wonderful. And Nancy, there you are. It's just so wonderful to see everyone here on Zoom and to say hi out in Facebook land and know that everybody is joining us from all kinds of places. So we are physically located in Falls Church, Virginia, in the DC metro area. However, right now, everything is virtual, right? So we are coming to you to wherever you are. And we have made a commitment to continue to live stream even after we go back to in-person services. So if you do not live close enough to come to the service, you will still be able to join us moving forward, which I'm super excited about. I wanted to talk to y'all because if you remember at the beginning of February, and we talked about it kind of every week, I challenged y'all to get on Facebook and like our page, Celebration Center for Spiritual Living. And the person that was the most active and the most engaged on our Facebook page would get a prize and be acknowledged. So I have those, there's two people. And so if you will drum roll, please. The first and most active person on Facebook was Janine Billiou, of course, our beloved president of the Leadership Council. And then we actually had a second person who I don't even know, and maybe y'all know, and if you do, pop in and tell me who this is. Beth Carmen. Yeah? Beth Carmen is our other, oh my goodness, everybody's nodding at me. So thank you so much, Beth, for all of your engagement on Facebook. Thank you, Beth. Thank you, Janine. And I wanted to let y'all know that this month we had 32 new followers, which is up 540%. We had 445 video views. We reached 951 people with our post, which is up 13%. We had 151 page views, which is up 6%. So great job, everyone. We are going to continue to engage on Facebook, and I have a new challenge for y'all for the month of March. Are y'all ready? You look ready. Okay. The new challenge is to go subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I am going to put the link in the chat. And when we hit 100 YouTube subscribers, right now we're at 16. We just started it 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, so that's not too bad. But when we hit 100 YouTube subscribers, we get all sorts of features unlocked. So that's our goal. And when we hit 100 YouTube subscribers, I'm going to create a poll, and y'all get to decide what color my hair is going to be, because I need to go get the roots done and everything. So at the end of March, or when we hit 100 YouTube subscribers, y'all get to go tell me what color my hair is going to be next. So please click on that link that is in the chat, and I will put it on Facebook as well, and go subscribe to our YouTube channel. And on that note, without further ado, we are going to move on and state our vision together. And if y'all remember, we do this to remind ourselves where we're all headed, because every decision that we are making here at the center is about that vision, so that we are all clear on where we are going together. So Ivor will have that up in just a moment. A short, quick moment. And if you'll stay muted and say it aloud with me. We are celebrating spirit within and knowing the oneness of humanity. Thank you so much, Ivor. And now we have a very special guest joining us today, the beloved Jessie Powers. She is a self-proclaimed joy reminder and conscious indie pop musician located in Columbus, Ohio. There are so many things that I could say about her. She performs at all of the CSL events, all of the home office Centers for Spiritual Living events. Her music is incredible. She's an amazing singer-songwriter, and she's one of my nearest and dearest friends. And so I would like to welcome Jessie to open us up today.
Good morning. Hello. I am very excited to be here. And I'm going to open with this song about being alive. And if you want to, and you catch on, it's pretty easy to catch on. You can sing with me. I woke up this morning joyful as can be. That's how I spend my day and that's how I sleep. I woke up this morning joyful as can be. That's how I spend my day and that's how I'll sleep. Again. I woke up this morning joyful as can be. That's how I spend my day and that's how I'll sleep. I woke up this morning joyful as can be. That's how I spend my day and that's how I'll sleep. 'Cause I love being alive. It's the greatest thing about my life. Oh, I love being alive. It's the greatest thing about my life. Grateful. I woke up this morning grateful as can be. Think of things you're grateful for. That's how I spend my day and that's how I'll sleep. Woo! I woke up this morning grateful as can be. That's how I spend my day and that's how I'll sleep. 'Cause I love being alive. It's the greatest thing about my life. Oh, I love being alive. It's the greatest thing about my life. Okay. I know that we're all muted. Some of us are watching from Facebook, but wherever you are, I encourage you to really take this one to heart, okay? Because we're going to get playful. So I would love to see people dancing, making weird faces, singing really loudly, still muted though, and just being weird and playful in general. Okay, ready? I woke up this morning playful as can be. That's how I spend my day and that's how I'll sleep like a cat. Meow, 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 meow. That's how I spend my day and that's how I'll sleep like an opera singer. I woke up this morning playful as can be. That's how I spend my day and that's how I sleep. I don't know, something else. I woke up this morning playful as can be. That's my South Carolina roots. That's how I spend my day and that's how I'll sleep. 'Cause I love being alive. It's the greatest thing about my life. I love being alive. One more time. I love being alive. Nothing's greater. It's the greatest thing about my life. I love it so much. I hope you do too, being alive. It's the greatest thing about my life. Meow, 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 meow.
Thank you so much, Jessie. Thanks for getting the energy flowing and getting us awake first thing in the morning. And now I would like to invite our beloved practitioner, Irina Kurashevitz. I've been working on it. I've been practicing to join us in some prayer and reading.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Irina Kurashevitz, and I'm a practitioner here at the center. And the first thing I want to say is Happy International Women's Day. It is a big day in my native Russia tomorrow. It's a day off. It's a national holiday, and it's a beautiful, beautiful day. It's all covered in flowers. The only thing you can compare it here, probably like St. Valentine's Day. But I like 8th of March better because it's all inclusive, because we celebrate newborn girls, mothers, grandmothers, whoever is, female, we celebrate this energy. So I'm absolutely grateful to be surrounded by so powerful female energy within our center. So happy International Women's Day. And my reading today from the founder of our philosophy, Ernest Holmes, and his book, Thoughts Are Things. Well, and before I read, I'll remind you that practitioners are here to pray. And this is what we do. Later in the service, it will be mentioned to you how to submit your prayer request. And please give yourself a treat. Contact practitioner. If you want, we're all available, and you can reach us out and we can pray over the phone. And probably find a prayer partner, especially at the time when we're isolated. It's very, very important. So please do it. And we have powerful group ministry of prayer. They receive the prayer request and they come together and pray about all the prayer requests they receive. And then every practitioner receives your prayer request and we pray with you for a week. Pray about something you want to change or something you want to expand. We're absolutely here for you and absolutely grateful to do that. And with that, I come to the reading by Ernest Holmes. As you learn to release all your burdens to the right action of God, you find that everything falls into its proper place. You let your problems slip away from you, realizing that the presence and the power greater than you are is within you, is ready, willing and able to guide you in all ways. Then peace, security, and fulfillment come with ease, and there is a sense of joy and accomplishment. And I invite you to pray. And I know that God is. God is all there is. God is the essence of life. God is life itself. God is everything. There is no place in the universe when there is no God. There is no God and. It is just one power, one presence, one love, one peace. And it is absolutely equally present everywhere. It is here, no matter what. God is life, and life is God. And I am one and inseparable from the divine. I'm all that God is. All the God qualities are being expressed through me and as me, as I'm one. And from my place of oneness, I speak this word for everyone who is here today. I know unity and oneness. I know that everyone who is present here is perfect expression of the divine. Marvelous, magnificent, intelligent, wise, loving. As I know that all God qualities belong to everyone here. It is just one breath away. Just take this breath and remember. Remember about oneness. About one life, that God's life. And that is absolutely present, perfect and present. And from this oneness, I know perfect and radiant health. I know wholeness. I know perfect relationship. When God is dealing with God. I know peace. Peace where it looks like a war or a conflict. God is there in the midst of the chaos. God is within. And I know abundance and prosperity. I know that money, that is the energy, flows easily and effortlessly and change the world. Maybe a little world of a family, and brings joy to children or to older relatives. More food, more fun. I declare it for this community and beyond. And I know wisdom, I know divine clarity that leads each of us into the right direction, the only direction that exists, the God's direction. I know unconditional love. I know peace, harmony, and joy for the Celebration Center. For all members, for all guests, for people who even don't know about our existence, but we just know that they are one and inseparable from the divine. And I'm so grateful to have this opportunity to speak the word of truth, to know it and to live it and to feel it. I'm grateful to recognize my oneness, my wholeness, my integrity. I'm so, so, so grateful for everyone here, for the expressions of the divine, for the uniqueness, for the music, for the wisdom. I'm so grateful. And I am ready to release. I'm ready to surrender, to let it be. I put it into the law knowing that it is already done in the perfect mind of God, and it is not my job to know how. I just release easily and effortlessly. Surrender to what beats my heart in joy and in peace. And I let it be. And so it is.
Thank you so much, Irina. And I would like to invite Jessie back for another song.
All right. Reverend Chris is talking about living with the questions. And this song is about trusting, giving into the mystery. Sometimes it feels like my heart is stuck in a revolving door. It can get me down so much, I don't even want to mess with it anymore. Oh, that too familiar feeling, oh, I know it well, but I don't let it get too far. No, I'm too good at staying cool now. Yes, I am learning the art, and I'm getting good at letting go, yeah. I'm getting good at giving it over, 'cause I know it ain't in my hands. Oh, I'm getting good at letting go, yeah. Getting good at giving it over, 'cause I know, though I do not understand, my soul's always got something better planned. When the shadow comes creeping in, like a thief from my past, I turn on the light by remembering only my soul knows my path. And I'm getting good at letting go, yeah. Getting good at giving it over, 'cause I know it ain't in my hands. So I'm getting good at letting go, yeah. Getting good at giving it over, 'cause I know, though I do not understand, my soul's always got something better planned. And I am unburdened, yes, I am free when I believe. Hey, if I I just keep trusting. If I keep the faith, I know I'll see. When I let go, and I know when I let go, and I know that my soul's always God. Yes, my soul's always God. Oh, my soul's always got something better planned. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jessie. I love your music. It takes me somewhere. So it is the first Sunday in March, which means that we get a new monthly theme in addition to a new weekly theme. And so this month, the theme is open to possibilities. And as y'all can probably guess, that is a very exciting topic for me. I love this idea of just being so open to anything beyond that which we can imagine. And that really, when I think about open to possibilities, that's what I think about, is the possibilities that are outside of my realm of consciousness. They're beyond even the things that I know I don't know, to the things that I don't know that I don't know. That area of spirit that is just so much greater than anything that my finite minds can imagine, right? And then this week, the theme is living in the question. And y'all, I love questions. Questions are great. Questions open us up to that possibility. Questions have the ability to lead us somewhere new that we've never been before. Questions invite us to move past our preconceived notions and invite in learning and growth and an opportunity to be new and to gain more clarity in ourselves. Questions have the ability to connect us with one another. And questions lead to breakthroughs, and they lead to truth finding. And when I say truth finding, what I mean is that capital T truth that sits at the very center of who we are. And so when I think about this idea of living in the question, that's where I go. When I am able to step back away from my judgments and the things that I think I know and my ego and my mind and all of my thoughts and all of that, and I'm able to just step back into a question, that's where the magic happens. That's where I can really show up and commune with the divine, commune with spirit in a new way. And I think that this idea of living in the question, this way of living, it really takes a commitment, because we love to know things. Humans, we really like to know. We are naturally curious, right? And if you think that that might not be true, just look at a toddler and you will definitely discover that humans are naturally curious, right? We love to know things, but beyond that natural curiosity is this desire to know. I want to know. I do. It's in my nature, and not everybody wants to know as strongly as I do. And you can decide where you are on that spectrum. But I think that the majority of us are more comfortable in the knowing than in the not knowing. And so living in the question is a commitment to saying, I can never know as much as spirit. And so I'm going to continually stay in the not knowing place to allow myself to open to those greater possibilities that I don't know are available to me. What I've also noticed about humans is that when we can't figure something out, we make something up. And we've done it all through history, all through time. let's take the sun, for example. Way back when they didn't know how the sun worked and they didn't have telescopes and measurements, they had mythology, right? They made up a story, because that's what we do. We make up a story. And Helios, or Sol, or, there was 1,000 different names for the god of the sun, would fly across the sky in a chariot carrying the sun, and that's what brought light. And then he'd rest at night and like go back around and do it all again every day. And eventually they figured out that mythology, while beautiful, and we've been talking about this mythologizing of our lives, and so there's something there for us in that story. It's not that story is wrong per se, but just that we have a greater understanding and perspective of the sun now, right? And so we moved into a geocentric model of the solar system. And geocentric means that everything rotates around the earth, because I am the center of my own universe, right? And so obviously everything must revolve around me. That makes complete and utter sense. And so we made up, because we didn't know, we made up based on our best guesses and estimates of what we could see, that everything was revolving around the earth. And then we gained a bigger perspective. Copernicus started noticing, why if everything's revolving around us, then why do some things go like this and they don't actually revolve? That doesn't make any sense. And we start questioning, but it's from those questions, it's from those, wait, this doesn't make sense, this doesn't fit into my current model and perspective of the world. It's when we're willing to say that and not just try to fit the square peg into the round hole to make it fit into our preconceived notions, that's where we can open up further, and we can see that really it's a heliocentric model, right? Really, everything's revolving around the sun. And when I say everything, it's really a pretty small number of things that are revolving around the sun in the grand scheme of things. And then when our perspective, and then of course Galileo comes along and he invents the telescope, and he's like, oh, look, here, I can prove that this is what's happening, right? And we think, oh, well, it hasn't really changed since then, right? Like we got it figured out. But no, if you go and look at current models of the solar system, it's not that we're all revolving around the sun, it's that the sun is flying through space, revolving around the Milky Way galaxy, and we're all hanging on for the ride, trailing behind it in the spiraling motion. So we are continually evolving our perspective, continually. And in order to do that, we have to be willing to stay in the question. Because if we stop and we step back and we say, nope, I look up in the sky, the sun travels over my head, and therefore not only is the sun revolving around the earth, but everything's revolving around me, we're not going to get very far. That doesn't invite new ideas and new opportunities and new experiences. There's no cracks in there. If we know it all, there's no cracks in there for spirit to get in. There's no cracks in there for somebody else to know something that we don't know. And that's the beauty of diversity, right? Is that everybody knows something just maybe a lot different than us, maybe just a little different than us, but everybody has something to teach us. And everybody has something to learn from us, everybody across the entire planet. And if we can stay in the question enough, we can learn from every individual that we come across, every experience, every conversation. And we're not only learning about them, but we're learning about our world, we're learning about ourselves, we're learning about how we show up. It's so beautiful. So in the spirit of, if I don't know, I like to make up a story, I think we do that with people a lot, right? There's, how many articles are there written about, first impressions happen in the first 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 97 seconds. There's all these articles about how fast you have to make your first impression with another person. But the same is true the other direction, that in that amount of time, whatever it may be, whatever research is currently showing, that's how fast I'm making judgments. I'm making up my story about you based on what you say, based on how you introduce yourself, based on your handshake, based on the way you look and the way you did your hair and the clothing that you're wearing and how you walked over to me and the car that you're driving and the food that you're eating and the words that you're saying, everything. And then I make up a story and then I project it onto you. And then I get mad at you when you don't fit into my story that I made up about you in the first place. Good Lord. But when we can stop that, when we can say, oh my goodness, wait, I made up a story. I don't actually know that that's true. Let me ask you a question. Rather than making an assumption, let me ask you a question. I was on a team a while back, and I was in charge of completing a task. And in order to complete this task, I needed several other people to complete their tasks, right? Pretty typical in team situations. And there was one person on the team and they had a deadline. Deadline came and went, task was incomplete. So I went to them and I was like, hey, what's up? You know, are you going to complete this task? Oh yeah, I got it. I'll get it right to you. I'm going to go sit down and do it right now. I was like, great. When can you have it to me by? Because I've learned that if you don't give people deadlines, they don't do things, myself included. If I don't have a deadline, it ain't happening. So I give myself deadlines. Oh, I'll have it to you tomorrow. Okay, great. Tomorrow comes and goes, no task completion. I'm like, dude, like what the heck? Seriously, like what the heck? So I called and I was like, hey, like I really need this thing. Can you please, like, what's going on? Oh, yeah, right. Sorry, I forgot. I was like, dude, you were sitting down to do it when we hung up the phone, but okay, whatever. Like, just get it to me. Okay, I'm doing it right now. Like a week comes and goes, no task. So then I call and I'm like, okay, great. Now I'm going to sit on the phone with you while you complete this. Like we're literally going to sit here and do this together. So we do. They complete the task. I complete my task. And then I'm like, you know what? Like I have made up a story about why they didn't do it. They don't respect me as their leader. They don't, they're incapable. They don't know how to get on the internet and complete this very simple task. Like, oh my God, you know, they just don't care about this team that we're on. They don't care about it, you know, or, you know, I just made up all these stories and I was like, I'm making this up. I have no clue. So I called him and I was like, hey, so what I know about you, because you've told me, is that being in integrity with your word is really important to you. But my experience in getting you to complete this task was that you were out of integrity with your word. So I feel like maybe there's something going on here. Can you tell me what's up? What happened? How can I, and the question that I actually asked was, how can I support you so that you are able to complete tasks in the future? Because I feel like I've made up a story here. And they stopped for a second and they're like, you know, I really had a hard time for this reason. And they gave me a really amazing reason that I never could have imagined. And I was like, oh, why didn't you tell me that you needed support? And they said, well, because it's a highly stigmatized thing. And I was really worried that you were going to judge me. And the first thing that came out of my mouth was, we don't do that BS here on this team. We don't do that BS. And thank you so much for telling me, because now that I know, I can support you. And there's nothing to be ashamed of, because this thing that is highly stigmatized in our society is something that everybody has had to deal with at some point in their lives in some way or another. It's a super common thing that we've made a problem, but really it's just our shame and our guilt and our judgment and all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that with you. I've been there. I know what that's like. And so I'm more than happy to support you through this. And so because of that conversation, not only were we able to reach a deeper understanding of one another, but this person also was like, you know what? I am like even more excited to be a part of this team, because now I know that this is how the team shows up. And this is like, we really put our money where our mouth is. And we really stand in the principle of everyone is divine, regardless of what situation they have going on. And so we can come to one another, divine to divine, and we can have a conversation and we can figure things out. And not only did it make each of us individually stronger, but it made our relationship stronger and it made the team stronger. It was a powerful moment. And it was because I was willing to set down all of the assumptions that I made. It wasn't about me. Look at me making it all about me. Oh, you don't respect me. Well, isn't that me making me the center of my universe, right? But really, it had nothing to do with me. And so that is the power of setting down those preconceived notions and of setting down the things that we think we know, because we really know very little, and living in the question. Frank Herbert says, the mystery of life isn't a problem to solve, but a reality to experience. So on a bigger picture level, outside of this realm of day-to-day living and doing and being, curiosity in spirit opens us up to yet even another realm of possibility. And some of the way that we can do that is through this thing called visioning. And visioning is really opening ourselves up to spirit in this greater way, right? Because we do vision boards and we do mind mapping and we do goal setting and we do all of these things, but all of those things are me operating from my own perspective. But when we vision, we open ourselves up to something greater that we can't even know yet. So 2 years ago, when I started visioning for my ministry, I couldn't have created a vision board to be the senior minister, Celebration Center for Spiritual Living, because I didn't even know that Celebration for Center for Spiritual Living existed. And so instead, I do both. I create a vision board where I am the senior minister at the perfect right center for me. And here's the things that are my, must-haves. And here are the things that I don't know because Spirit has something for me. And I go into visioning and I ask Spirit, what is my highest vision? What is your highest vision? What is our highest vision for my life, for my ministry, for the center that I know I'm going to be the senior minister of, even though I don't know what it is? And then these words and these phrases come. And a lot of those words and phrases are things that I used and said throughout my candidating process, because those are the directions that I am headed. That is the vision that I hold for myself. And they were in alignment. Celebration Center and the people on all of those teams that met me went, oh, us too. That's where we're headed too. Wait, this is a good fit. Hold up. And y'all did the same thing from your direction, right? You created the vision tree of good stuff, of all of the things that you wanted in a minister, but you couldn't have sat down and said, well, we want that Kristen girl who's not even a minister yet and isn't gonna be for. How would you have even known that? I mean, Irina did it a little in convention because she's just next level, but in general, y'all had to open to the vision of something greater. And then when we do that, we come together and something beautiful happens. Something amazing is revealed. Ernest Holmes, our founder, says, rather, let us accept the simple fact with utmost simplicity, and let us believe in our hearts that which the intellect cannot and need not explain, the mystery of life. Then he goes on, for all the rational analysis and all the apparent synthesis of every analysis known to the mind of man has not and cannot and never will explain life. The divine gift is made, and as we awake to the realization of it, it is ours. That is the beauty. We get to wake up and be alive because it's the greatest part of our life, is that being alive part. It really is. And we get to open up and, we walk through the mundane and we pay the bills and we do what we got to do. And we go to our jobs and we fix ourselves food, which, now that I'm single, I have to say feeding me is a whole thing. Like, I have to eat every day. Like, it's ridiculous. Jen was she is an amazing cook. She cooked all my meals. She always kept me fed. She was always like throwing stuff at me as I'm running out the door to classes and, all this stuff. And now I'm like, oh my goodness, like I'm hungry all the time. This is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But anyways, I digress. We do all these things. We take care of our physical body. We take care of our physical experience. And we open ourselves to something greater, something more magnificent, something unimaginable when we live in the possibility, or when we live in the question, because we are truly living in the possibility. I have a couple more quotes that I looked up the word mystery. I said mystery quotes, spiritual mystery quotes, and I found so much good stuff. I could have just read y'all quotes for 30 minutes. Mario Testino says, my favorite words are possibilities, opportunities, and curiosity. I think if you are curious, you create opportunities. And then if you open the doors, you create possibilities. And so that's truly what we're doing, is we're getting curious enough to look around and go, hey, there's a door there I've never noticed. Let's go open that and see what's behind it. I actually did that the other day here in the center, despite the fact that I've been working here for 2 months now, and I have found the microwave at this point and use it often. I went into our library and boardroom, which is behind me here, and I was like, there's a door over there. Where does that door go to? I've never seen that before. And it was all the paper goods. I've been wiping my hands on my pants because I didn't know there were paper towels in the closets. And so that's the magic of staying open and of looking around and going, what is here that I haven't noticed before? What is outside of my perspective? And then we can ask, Spirit, what is your highest vision for me? What are you wanting to show me in my environment that I haven't noticed before? Because there's stuff outside of my perspective. And so that is where I invite us to go today, is that question, that curiousness, that possibility thinking of what is beyond? What is beyond all of this? What is beyond the food and the door and the work and the job and the money and all of that? What's beyond this? What is greater? That's where I'm headed. And that's where our vision holds us and keeps us and takes us together. And now I just invite you into some prayer. So I invite you, if you feel comfortable, to just close your eyes. And I'm going to begin this prayer with a quote by Gabrielle Roth. Each of us is a moving center, a space of divine mystery. And though we spend most of our time on the surface in the daily details of ordinary existence, most of us hunger to connect to the space within, to break through to bliss, to be swept away into something bigger than us. And I know that this something bigger than us, that is all that there is. The something bigger than us is, yes, it is bigger than us, and it is us. It is that thing, that something that has created every atom and molecule, and it is the very atoms and molecules that it has created that build into these building blocks of cells that then become our organs and our systems and our bodies. That is the something greater than us. It is us. And it is everything. It has created and manifested and demonstrated all of this amazing, miraculous life. All of the magic and the good stuff and the mystery and the curiosity. There's something bigger than us that was so divinely intelligent that it made us curious to discover more and more of it. And so what I know and affirm here now together today is that we live in that question. We open ourselves up to the possibilities of things that are outside of our realms of imagination or perspective into something greater. We open ourselves up to ask questions of one another, to learn from one another, to teach one another, and to experience one another on a greater, deeper, more profound level than we ever have before. Each and every one of us here is open to the highest, greatest vision and possibility for our lives, and we step into that and we live in that from the most amazing, incredible, spectacular ways, individually and collectively as Celebration Center for Spiritual Living. And I am so grateful for this community of mystics, this community of the mystics that are willing to live in the mystery of the divine. I'm so grateful that we are willing to open ourselves up to that greater possibility that is yet to be. And I am so grateful for each and every person who is listening to this, whether it's right now live or whether it is in the future in a recording, and is saying, yes, our hearts are opening and I am grateful. And so I simply release my word. I know it is done as I have spoken, and so I can just let it go and let it be, release it into that greatest, highest mystery, and allow it to reveal itself through me as I live it out. And we say together, and so it is.
So it is.
And now I invite Jessie back for more amazing music.
That was beautiful, Rev. Thank you so much for that. I found that one great tool for learning how to live in the possibilities is to get still. So this song is about that. We can change the world if we want to. We can change it all if we want. Sit with me, we can be 6 feet apart. We'll bow our heads and honor that which is greater than we are. Take the pain inside your heart and give it to the light. Together we're better, so let yourself remember that tonight. Because we can change the world if we want to. We can change it all if we want. We can change the world if we want to. We can change it all if we want. It isn't mine to ever know the answer to it all. But what I do know is we must go where we are called. Everything is screaming out, honey, it's all inside. Begin with me within and see the peace that we ignite. Because we can change the world if we want to. And stillness is the way. Stillness is the way. Stillness is the way. Stillness is the way. We're gonna breathe in, gonna breathe out. That's about all that we can do right now. Maybe it's not ours to figure out today. Gonna be here, gonna be now. Peace of mind, gonna find us somehow. And I know that stillness is the way. 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 And we can change the world if we want to.
Thank you. So that, once again, is Jessie Powers. I am going to put her, or actually, Jessie, will you put your website in the chat so that way anybody who wants to go get more of her music, you can. I love Jessie's stuff. All of it is phenomenal. The major issue that I had today was only picking 3 songs because I wanted y'all to experience about 17 of them that she does. And now we have just a few minutes for Tell Us. And so if you have something that you want to say, I'm going to keep my questions so open that I'm not going to ask one. Just going to remind you that we are living in the question. Does anybody have anything they want to say? No? Okay.
I know
I know
that I'm not technically like a member of your community, so I'm not exactly sure what this is, but I do want to say thank you for having me here. First of all, I'm so excited. But I also want to say that I feel like there are times in our lives where we start to question our reality about things. And I am learning right now that I need to fundamentally have trust in myself and not question the reality beyond a certain point, because sometimes I ask too many questions. And then it produces a bunch of more questions, and then I get really confused, and then I'm like, I don't know who I am. And sometimes that's great, because then I'm like, great, I don't have to be anything, but then other times I'm like, I don't know how to act in the world. And that's kind of where I'm at right now, and I'm kind of a little bit of an anxious mess. So I really appreciate being here this morning, because it's very grounding and helping me to remember how I can be of value to other people and not just be caught in my head. So thanks.
Thank you, Jessie. Thank you for that. And that is a whole other realm of we don't want to ask so many questions that we're just lost off in the ethers with the divine and can't function in our world. Thank you. And that was a perfect example of Tell Us. And ask Richard for Richard, I think you need to unmute again, but I think you wanted to say something.
Yeah, I just unmuted. Yeah.
Yep, we can hear you.
Yeah, you know what? I got both my vaccination shots. Feel great. I hope that everybody here in this group has got both their shots too. That would be nice. Sooner we can all do that as a country, we get back together in person by maybe the end of summer or whenever.
Thank you, Richard. I'm really happy.
You're welcome.
Congratulations.
Yeah. I love shots, especially 1 ounce glasses.
Oh my goodness!
At the right occasion. Okay.
Thank you so much, Richard.
You're so welcome.
It's good to have you here, and I see Tim and Suzanne have their hands up as well.
Yeah. A thought occurred to me that sometimes when I ask a question one way, it gets a different answer than if I ask it another way. So frequently, just coming up with different ways to ask a question is useful.
Oh yeah, anybody who's been involved in any political activity knows it's all in how you frame the question.
Yeah. So that's just it's something which I realized a long time ago, that framing or asking a question is so important the way you ask it. So
that is so true, Suzanne. Thank you. Yeah, if I had come to my now friend and been like, dude, what are you even doing on this team? I probably would have gotten a very different answer than, how can I support you? So thank you. And it's a great idea to continue to ask the divine all kinds of different questions just to see what the answers may be. Go ahead, Tim.
When Jessie was talking about asking too many questions, which I sometimes, I agree with that. I was reminded of one of the lines in What the Bleep. So the question is, how far down the rabbit hole do you want to go?
Yep.
as my wife says, there's always a deeper end. And it's the same thing with the rabbit hole. How far down the rabbit hole do you want to? Because you can go down forever if you really want to. Every question leads to another question, which leads to another question, which leads to another.
Yep.
Play this
Yep.
game.
It is a journey, not a destination. There's always more journey.
I led off the chat with a quote from Fred Allen Wolf about
the real trick to life is not to be in the know, but to be in the mystery.
Yes. Yep. Thank you, Tim and Suzanne. All right, we are going to move on to our prayers and our giving. And so first and foremost, we love to pray and our practitioners love to pray. We have an amazing practitioner core here at Celebration Center for Spiritual Living. And if they know anything, they know the truth for all of those that they are praying for. And so if you have a prayer request that you would like to send in, or maybe even just a gratitude, you can feel free to do that at the email, which is going to go into the chat. I'm sure Suzanne is typing it in right now. It is prayer@celebrationcenter.org, or you can go to our homepage. Will you pull it up for us, Ivor? You can go to our homepage and you can fill out right there in the purple that button that says request affirmative prayer. And that will lead you to a form that you can fill out, which will go straight to our practitioners and myself. It goes through Irina, but it goes to our practitioners. And just know that your prayers are held in love, that we know the truth for you, and that those prayers are held in confidentiality as well with myself and our practitioners. And now I would like to invite you to get out your gift if it's a physical gift that you can get out. Otherwise, I just invite you to bring your hands to your heart and think about all of the things that you give to the center. Perhaps your tithe and your money, and also your energy and your attention and your love and your dedication and your time and your talents. And we are so grateful for all of the gifts that we are receiving here at Celebration Center. We can't have a center without all of us. We are all important and necessary. And so now let us repeat our offertory affirmation together, which is going to be on the screen. I invite you to say it aloud while staying muted. I open my heart to give and receive the blessing that our spirits promise to me. As I do, the entire universe conspires to give me an abundant life, and I open to accept it. And so it is. And now I invite our music director, Lynn Hollyfield, to do an offertory affirmation for us.
Okay, here we go. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so grateful for all we have. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so grateful. We are so blessed. We are so grateful. We are so blessed.
Thank you, Lynn. And Irina, will you bless our prayers and donations?
Sure. And yes, we're absolutely blessed. We're absolutely grateful to be the part of this community and of this philosophy, to practice science of mind. And I know that all the prayer requests are already answered in the perfect mind of God. That it's all here. I know that everyone who wrote, spoke, or just thought their prayers, they put it in the mind of God, and the mind of God always says yes. So I know abundance, I know joy, love, harmony, peace, and wholeness for the Celebration Center. I know that everyone feels important and loved and heard. And as we go and bless our financial donations, we just celebrate the participation in the law of circulation, knowing that this energy, abundant, prosperous energy of God, of life, is unstoppable, like the spring is unstoppable. And abundance flows through every life, through every being, including the center. And this energy goes beyond and touches lives, little by little, and brings smiles, brings wisdom, clarity, understanding. And I'm absolutely grateful to know this truth about our prayer requests and about our finances. It is all God, and it is all good. And I give thanks, and I let it be.
And so it is. Thank you, Irina. And now I would like to invite Terry Murphy to give us some announcements.
Hi, everybody. First, I want to start with if we have any guests who'd like to introduce themselves. Let's see any new faces. Okay, then we're going to ask you all to please join our YouTube channel. As Reverend Chris has mentioned, even if you don't like YouTube, you never heard of YouTube, you're not going to use YouTube, Ed Preston, I'm looking at you. We still need you to sign up, because if we get 100 people to sign up, we will get extra opportunities on YouTube. So do that as a favor for us and as well as for yourself. Reverend Chris's class, Spiritual Principles and Practices. I took the first night of it. We had a great time. We did a lovely exercise on using all 5 of our senses to become into the present moment. I just lost the present moment because I'm one screen behind poor Ivor. So let me just say, you can register right on the website, or you can speak with Reverend Chris. And for anybody who doesn't yet have the email address for Reverend Chris, it's real simple, revchris@celebrationcenter.org. She will need to get you up to speed for the second class with the materials. And then after that, after Wednesday night, it will be too late. So please come join us. Have a great time. Leadership Council meetings. This month, the next one is going to be Thursday, March 18th, 7:30 to 9, and it will not be on our normal Zoom link. So if you are interested in going to that, please ask Reverend Chris for the one-time Zoom link, just because it's going to be in conflict with a choir session.
And Terry, I will be sending that link out on our groups.io. So if you don't ask me for it, it will go out day of and probably a couple days before. So you'll have opportunities to grab it as well.
Super, super, super. Then beginning in April, from then on, Leadership Council meetings are going to be the third Tuesday, still 7:30 to 9 p.m. 2 save the dates coming up: Good Friday and Easter. Good Friday service on April 2nd. This is going to be a little different from the way we've done it in years past. It's going to be more of a Taizé style service that our practitioners and interfaith ministers will be offering. So more information to follow on that. Look forward to that. And for Easter Sunday, April 4th, the theme is going to be Let Your Song Arise. So to celebrate, our choir is going to be performing, and we have other treats planned. Be sure to plan for that one. Hope to see you all then, and as well as next week. Thank you.
Awesome, Terry. And I forgot to tell you, but it is also the first Sunday of the month. So it is birthday Sunday and anniversary Sunday. So if you have a birthday or an anniversary in this month, if you will raise your hands. Terry and Ivor, who's raising his hand, but we can't see him. And I know Harrison is in this month. And Brenda, my goodness gracious, we have a lot of March birthdays and anniversaries. Any anniversaries, or is it all birthdays? 2? You have a birthday and an anniversary, Harrison? It's a big month for you. Oh, Richard, do you have a birthday or an anniversary?
I have a birthday on the 26th. Yep. That's the only one this year. Okay.
Awesome. Well, happy birthday and
thank you
to all of y'all. Oh my goodness, we have a lot of Pisces and Aries in this group. That's good. That's good information for me to have.
Aries.
All right, and now finally, I would like to invite Lynn back for a closing song.
Here we go. All right. There we go. Sorry. I put the words in the chat box. I don't know if they came up twice, but in any case, here's an original tune called When We Keep Our Eyes on Spirit. This was inspired by you, Reverend Chris. Looking forward is not what has happened to us. We are floating in a sea of love. Our choices are words, our voices are heard. Direct and guide our course, reverberates, we're never lost. When we keep our eyes on Spirit, when we keep our eyes on God, wonders restoring what's been locked up inside is rising up. No more steep climbs, we're lifted up. We flow in time. When we keep our eyes on Spirit, when we keep our eyes on God. Looking upward, there's more than what's before our eyes. We are swimming in a sea of light. Our vision is keen, our actions are seen. What we do in time illuminates from our mind. When we keep our eyes on Spirit, when we keep our eyes on God, wonders restoring what's been locked up inside is rising up. There's no steep climbs, we're lifted up. We flow in time. When we keep our eyes on Spirit, when we keep our eyes on God. Looking above the vast blue sky, an ocean of light fills our eyes. Looking above a dark, starry night, we're resting in the love of divine light. When we keep our eyes on Spirit, when we keep our eyes on God, wonders restoring what's been locked up inside is rising up. No more steep climbs, we're lifted up. We flow in time when we keep our eyes on spirit, when we keep our eyes on God. No more steep climbs, we're lifted up. We flow in time when we keep our eyes on spirit, when we keep our eyes on God. When we keep our eyes on God. When we keep our eyes on God. And now I hope everyone will join me in singing Ivor Happy Birthday. Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ivor. Happy birthday to you.
Get out and walk.
Today is Ivor's actual birthday, and we are super grateful he was born so that he can be our illustrious tech leader.
21 years old.
All right, and at this time, I would like to bless us and send us out into the world, living our lives in the question, in the mystery, and in the curiosity, and say, we love you to our Facebook people. And I'm going to stop the Facebook Live. We will see you next week. And if you would like to join us now for our community conversation, please click on that Zoom link in the comments in Facebook, or also on our website at celebrationcenter.org. Bye.